Greetings everyone, today I'm going to show you how I use this scorecard to identify scam online stores. I'm Dan and welcome to Scam Takedown Task Force, a channel dedicated to finding online scams and taking them down. Now before we begin, I'd like to know how many of you guys have seen scam stores online or think you might have seen a scam store online. Let me know down in the comments below. I want to start out by saying that these are some of the techniques that I use when I'm looking over a site, and just because a site looks scammy doesn't necessarily mean that it is. However, on that same note, if it appears scammy, there's a good chance that I'm not going to be shopping there. Ultimately, a legitimate store is going to have as few points on the scam score as possible. And having a couple of points on here isn't a death sentence. It just means that it has a few things that it could improve. I made this scorecard with some of the steps that I take to verify a website. There are some more complicated steps that I can take, but these ones are the simple steps that you guys should be able to do on your own. The scorecard is divided into 4 sections, and each section tells you how much a check is worth. Checking off a box means that you're adding scam score. Once you look over all of the items on there, you add all of the points up, and that's your scam score. If a site scores from 0 to 10, it's likely not a scam. Now, just because a site scores in this range does not mean that you shouldn't be careful, and I recommend that you do more research if you feel something's off. If the store scores between 10 and 20, that is a likely scam. That means that it scored enough points to be very suspicious, and I definitely recommend doing more research on that website. If the score is over 20, then I would never shop there. I consider that 100% a scam website. These stores have huge red flags that should just immediately have you walk away. There's no question. I would recommend you not visit or buy anything on that website. The missing section is all about finding missing elements. Most of these elements are found straight on the homepage. The doesn't match section and the doesn't English section are something that you should be looking for during the entire time that you're going over the other sections. If during your search you notice that some of the pages have misspelled words, or the grammar doesn't look right, or there's something straight up in a foreign language, I would check off those boxes respectively. If you notice that the website has a different name mentioned, like if you're on yourwebsitehere.com and it says yourwebsitenothere.com, then I would check off the URL. If the website's name is Dropship, and then somewhere else you see a mention about Ship Drop as a business name, that's when I'd check off the name box. If the social media links do not match with the name or they don't exist, then I would check off the doesn't match social media. In the missing section, the About page, the Privacy page, and the Terms page can normally be found either in the top or the bottom of the website. Reviews and descriptions are normally found on the product pages. Although I very rarely trust the reviews on a web page where it's advantageous for that website to inflate the review score, it is nice to know that they exist and if they are trustworthy. Normally you can find the address in the About or the Contact page along with the phone number. Now if any of those things aren't where they are and you can't find them, I would check off the boxes that are missing as I go. Also, during that search, I'm looking for anything that doesn't match or doesn't English. Now the last section is where things get fun. To do this section, I prefer to use Google because it has the largest database to search from and most of the tools are built right into it. Now you may notice this section has different point values for all of the items in the list. That's because not everything in the section is weighted the same. The first place I search is bbb.org. There are many reputable stores out there that don't have the Better Business Bureau accreditation. However, having it is definitely nice. Additionally, there are some reviews typically on websites that have been around longer that will give you more insight onto a store's identity. For picture searching, first I go to google.com, then click on images in the top right. Opening a new tab, I go to the website and go to a product page. Right-click on a picture they use and select View Image. I then click and drag this over to my Google Search tab and drop it into the box that opens up. When you do this, you are performing what is known as a reverse image search. If you do that and the exact same image pops up on several other websites that also look a little fishy, or you see Alibaba or AliExpress somewhere in there, then what you are buying is a marked up Chinese product that is going to be dropshipped to you. Now, not all dropshipping is bad, but when a website presents itself as a unique product that is being produced in the United States, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth to see that they have taken zero effort to distinguish themselves from every other dropshipper out there. The same could be said for descriptions of a product. And if you can take a part of a description and paste it with quotation marks around it in Google to find hundreds or thousands of other websites that use the exact same product with the exact same description, that's a check in a box. Another dead ringer is when you go to the About page and copy a section from it. I like to take a part right after their name. Pop that in Google with quotation marks around it. If you see a bunch of websites that with the exact same phrase, check the box. Typically, a website that uses the same descriptions and pictures will also copy the About section from some other website. And that's definitely a bad scammy look, because lots of scammers out there produce hundreds of the exact same format site in order to increase the exposure to the number of people that they could potentially scam. Now, the age can be a little more tricky. What I like to do is find when the website was registered, and you can do that on a website called who.is. Type in the URL of the page, the www.businessname.com bit, and do a search. In the important date section, it will tell you when the website was created, registered, and when it will expire. If this registered date is less than a year old, check the box. A lot of scam websites are created and destroyed within a year, and that's because they want to revolve through these before people catch on and start leaving bad reviews or start calling them out on social media. Subjectively, a new business doesn't necessarily mean that it's a scam. However, because a lot of scam businesses use this tactic, it has to be identified and used as part of the score. With that out of the way, and back to Google, I typed the business name with reviews after it. There are a few websites like Trustpilot, Better Business Bureau or BBB, Google, Facebook, and Amazon that I like to see. What I check for is what do the most recent reviews say? And sometimes even more importantly, how do they respond to the negative reviews? Deleting comments, not responding, or just not finding reviews anywhere are all reasons for me to check the bad review box. The next step is to drop their address into a search and see what comes up. If the address points somewhere that doesn't have their business name attached to it, if you see lots of websites that all have the same address, or if the website completely lacks an address at all, this box should get checked. And the last one is probably the most damning of them all. If a website has reviews listed on it, and you can take the text of a review and put it into Google and see lots of websites with the exact same review, that box should get checked right away, and you should probably not shop at that store. What they do is they'll take the exact same website that they've created before and paste it onto several different URLs. When you see a review that has the exact same text with the exact same name coming from the exact same type of item, you can pretty much know that it's a scam site. Now that we've gone section through section and we've identified everything that we could see that could possibly point to a scammy website, we total all of these values up and we get a scam score. Again, I want to be clear that this is not necessarily a perfect method. I'm only doing this based on what I would personally identify as a scam website and would not shop at, and I'm sharing that information with you to try to help prevent you from being scammed. If you are ever in doubt, you should always trust your gut and ask questions. There are lots of social media groups out there where you can ask about a website, or if you'd like, I've left my email down below. You can send it to me directly and I will review a website for you. I can't say when, but I will attempt to get to every single person who emails me. I hope you've learned something, and if you have, please hit the like button. If you'd like to learn more about the different scams out there, or if you'd like to see some scam websites get roasted in some takedown sessions coming up, hit subscribe and tap the bell. Until next time, be vigilant, spread awareness, and have a great rest of your day.